welcome back to another live stream with me, JC. Okay. I don't know where we left off. It's been a while. Yes, we didn't stream Thursday because that was Thanksgiving, and then Friday I was working, but kind of like a weird shift, and I didn't have an hour-long break like I normally do for the stream, so we couldn't stream on Friday. So it's been a few days. I have no idea where we left off, but I did some wheel throwing over the weekend. So I was thinking we would just get these out of the way and trim them. I know that's not like the most exciting thing, but that's what I'm thinking we'll do. Just because I want to I don't want like too many projects going on here on my table at once. So let me just kind of like clean up some of this clay here. I don't want too much like clay dust sitting around. Okay. So, also I checked on, okay, so I checked on we had a bowl that was coil built, and apparently I have not been doing so well with compressing the clay for the bottoms of the coil built pots. I think this might be a coil built pot, but it's not like, it hasn't been in the drying stage yet. So it hasn't even had a chance to form a crack. This one's probably gonna crack. So it kind of looked like this. It was a little kind of like a shorter bowl, and a bit smaller, and that one's cracking. And then our coil built mug is still drying. It's not even bone dry yet because we've been super slow drying it. So that one, I'm not seeing anything, but it might. This is really upsetting. And the coil built pitcher that we were working on for a while for my mom, the bottom of that is cracking. So this is not going so well. I just looked at them like just a few minutes ago, so I haven't like decided what I should do about it yet. They haven't been fired yet. They're just, they're just drying. So we have two options. We can scrap them, or I can try to use Bisque Fix on them and see if that helps. I think I'm gonna have to think about it. The problem with Bisque Fix is that, well, for one thing, I've never used it before. There's that. I have some. I just got some for to try on our dog bowl. I haven't like applied it yet or anything, but I think that's something you could try. It's just that like here right now where the pieces are just leather hard and they haven't been fired yet, we could like just like throw them into the reclaim, and like we would be able to reuse the clay. It wouldn't be an entire waste. It was just kind of a waste of time, which is unfortunate. But that's just kind of like, that's just what happens in ceramics. There are just so many things that, you just like can't foresee. Obviously, when you have more experience, you're probably gonna see a lot less of that, unless you're like experimenting. So yeah. But then, like, at the same time, like, if we use the bisque fix, we might be able to fix it, but one of the kind of, like, downsides of using it is that, well, for one thing, it's probably not quite as strong as it would be. But also, like, the bisque fix, I heard, dries, like, very, very white. Although this clay is like, it's pretty light, but I wouldn't say it is like super white. It is sort of not quite buff. It's like, it's pretty kind of sand colored. So here is what it looks like fully finished, glaze fired. It's like very off-white. It is very, I like it, but like our crack is running through the bottom of our pitcher and the like bowl. So I don't like, you kind of need a good way to hide it. Because like you're gonna put like the bisque fix there, it's gonna be like a white line, like a white streak across there, and you kind of don't want that. I mean, my mom probably wouldn't care, but I don't really know like what I'm doing with this bowl. I mean, ideally, I think most instances I would like for the pieces that I make to be able to go into my shop. I think what I could do, okay, so, one of our, past videos from, I don't even know, like, definitely over a week ago, I showed you guys I got some new glazes. So, okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to wait and I'm gonna see like what, I think I'm just gonna keep them at bone dry. I mean, I don't know, maybe I could like bisque fire them if I feel pretty confident about that. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to waste the clay either. But what I think I could do is do some tests of some of the new glazes that I have. I have a couple that are supposed to be a little bit darker. I have like Chun Plum, which is definitely on the darker side. What else do I have? I don't know what else is in there. But I really want something that will like cover that up. I wonder if, I have no idea, but I wonder if White Cloud will cover it. White Cloud is it's kind of supposed to be white, but it's not like a, like, it's not opaque. So, I don't know. I think I'll just let them sit and then maybe see where we get with it. I wonder if I can do any compressing with this one. I'm pretty sure this piece is one of our coil built ones. And then these two over here are wheel thrown. The wheel is like, it has been so much quicker. But I've just been like, I don't know why. I just avoid things sometimes. It really is like so much faster to do. I would say like, one of the days, I think it was like, maybe it was yesterday, I had three bits or like chunks. I had 3 chunks of clay that I was going to throw. And one of them it just did not make it. I was sitting here trying to center it for so long, like I don't even know, maybe 20 minutes. I was sitting there trying to center it, and it was just, I don't know, it was just not working. But I'm glad the other 2 worked out. And actually, so the other 2 I got trimmed. I trimmed them yesterday. Did I throw them? Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe I threw them on Saturday or whatever. Or I don't know. Whatever. They're trimmed. And those are looking good. So we shouldn't have any issues there because, like, compressing is just like, I don't know. I just like feel like I understand it better with wheel throwing. Where like this, I don't know. I think what we're gonna have to do, hopefully sorry, I'm just like all over the place right now. Hopefully like the walls and stuff of our coil built things are like okay. Like there's nothing wrong there. So what we can do, what I have been doing is just coiling the bottoms of those pieces, like the pitcher and that other bowl, also with this one. I've been coiling the bottom as well, but we can just cut that out and stop doing that because it's like, seems a bit faster, but we're obviously having some trouble doing that. So I can just like roll out a slab for those pieces, and then we can just like cut the bottom out from there, and then so using a slab for the bottom and then coiling at the top. If we're not having any issues with like the sides, I have to check out that other bowl and do some more inspecting. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with the sides. Again, if you've been watching the other videos of the coil building, I am not like a coil builder or much of a hand builder. I feel really good about my pinch potting, where that has gone. There's a certain size of pinch pot that seems to not quite work out. When it gets to a certain size, I just feel like they're not working. Like there's cracking on the bottoms and stuff. I don't know. We can work on that. But slab building and the coil building is not my forte. I've only taken classes in wheel throwing, so that is like where I have more of my knowledge. Just so you guys know, if you have never watched any of my other videos before, but we have quite a bit of content for the live stream on YouTube. Let me see. Okay, maybe I will trim a little bit off of the walls here. They're not too bad. Sometimes for stuff that is dinnerware, sometimes you don't want it to be too thin because people will knock things around and, stuff that just like has like daily use is a little bit more prone to being broken and hit on other things. So I don't know, maybe we'll just keep it a little bit thinner, but maybe like, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna adjust a little bit of the side here. So yeah, so hopefully we can use these. I don't know, I'm so like, I have slight hoarder tendencies. So I hate the thought of like spending, you know, all this time on some of these things and just having to like throw them away. I don't know, maybe it's like an artist thing too. I feel like that part is just like really understandable, that you spent all this time on something and then you don't want to throw it away. But sometimes in pottery it's just like I don't know, like there are different things that are kind of like coming in, like you could save your time and like actually save the piece, but then if it like doesn't work out, you know, then you have to like throw it away. But like if we scrap something before it's been fired, like you can save that clay. It's just kind of like whatever you feel like is like the best outcome that you can get sometimes. Some things that have been like bisqued but have like maybe some pretty big issues that you maybe can't use Bisque Fix on. Like I just got the Bisque Fix. I kind of like completely forgot that was a thing. That's the Amico version, by the way. They're like I don't know like what the general term is, but I know like I think Mako has its own version. I don't know what it's called. But there are other ones available out there. But like I completely forgot that was a thing that you could do. So I had these little pinch pot pinch pots that I had that like I don't know, they just cracked. I think I don't know where they cracked. Probably at the base. That's where the majority of things will crack, unless it's like an attachment. Attachments are very prone to cracking too. So what I did was like, I was like, I don't know, maybe I could use this for something. Something you can use for stuff like that if you just feel like it's, I don't know, I guess something you don't want to or can't, like Bisque Fix. I was thinking like you can pour your glaze mixture, like your so like I have a glaze bucket that is full of like all of the excess that I have from like washing out my brushes, washing my tools and stuff that I stir the glazes with. It's just like a bucket of that, because you should not be pouring that like down the drain. So what you can do with that is like pour it into bisqued pieces, like not like all the way up to the top, but like I don't know, you can pour it like pretty far up, a lot further than what you would normally do if you were actually glazing it. And you can just like fire it, and then like once it's fired, then you can just like throw it away. Where as a liquid, it's not really safe to just put in the trash. So I saved like those little vases and stuff. I was like, I don't know. They weren't taking up too much space. So I was just like, I don't know, maybe that's what I'll do with them or something. Of course, if you don't mind, like using a piece and just like putting your random excess glaze on it, you can just glaze it like normal. It's probably gonna be like a ugly brownish color or something. That's what I've heard they usually turn into. I mean, you can do that too if you really want to, but I think like for the most part, like I don't need extra things. Like I don't know. Like I just don't like I need to not keep stuff that I don't actually need. But like if you're like in the need of some kind of like holder for stuff, you could definitely do that. Like if you wanted. If it's not like random different like cones of glazes and stuff, if they're all the same, that would be fine. Yeah. So anyway, wow, I'm just all over the place today. Anyway, so I kept these little vases because I was like, I don't know, maybe that's like what I could do with it. And then actually I have some glazes that are turning out a little weird and I needed to do some tests on them. So it was actually the perfect opportunity to just like, they're very like small and didn't take up much more space than like just a regular test tile. And they're already made and bisqued and stuff. So I just put the glazes on those and just kind of like test it out. Like, I don't know. I've mentioned, sorry. Okay, I think we're good. I've mentioned these glazes before. So they're like, I just had like a couple that were, they were new. I did test tiles with them. The test tiles were not quite right. One of them, the color wasn't what I was expecting. So I wanted to like try it out on that. And then the other one, it was turning out very matte. And like matte to the point where like it wasn't fully, like the piece wasn't fully like covered in glaze. Like if you ran your finger across it, it was very like rough and like stabby from basically being like bare clay, even though it was like glazed. So I was like, this is weird. And I was like, I don't know, maybe I mixed up the glaze wrong or something. There are a bunch of things when you're doing glazing that can kind of go wrong. Like sometimes your glaze needs to be flocculated. Sometimes I don't know. I don't know. They're just like things. Sometimes it's like how you're stirring it, maybe. Like if you didn't stir it well enough. I don't know. Or maybe it's like how many coats you put on it. My glazes are for brushing on. And sometimes the bottle says 2 or 3 coats, but then sometimes you actually have to do 4 coats, depending on like the glaze. So I was just like, I don't know. So I just need something to test this on. So it was actually perfect for that. This is why I have like hoarding tendencies, because I'll be like, I could use this for later. And then most of the time I don't, but then sometimes I do. Sometimes I actually do use it, and it's it's bad. It just fuels my need to like keep things I probably don't need. I'm trying to be more aware of that and trying to I don't know, get rid of things. that aren't actually needed or something, but you know. Yeah, so there you go. There's a little tip for you. I think this is very, I don't know. I think this is probably good enough. We'll have to fix up definitely the rim of this. It is very dry. Oops. And then just kind of smooth out some of those bits that fell in the center, and then we'll have to trim out the bottom. And then I'm just going to add some water to just like everywhere, and apply some pressure so that we're kind of like moving the clay around, trying to get rid of any trim marks. I prefer it to be more smooth. Some people like trim marks to be shown, so that's really just a preference thing. Sometimes, like if you want, you can do this like a couple times. If you don't, like, you could do this and like smooth it out and then like wrap it up in some plastic and then do it again later and like smooth out even more of it. It can be helpful if you want to use a rib to do the smoothing. This is a rib. Sometimes you'll get some marks. But I think like most of the time, if there are areas that are pretty uneven, like I don't know if you could see, but we had a little bit of a hole there. It can smooth it out, and then it's pretty easy to get rid of the marks that the rib makes. I don't know, I just don't feel like doing it right now. But you could totally do that. And then sometimes like once pieces get to like bone dry, I'll go and kind of like, I don't know, like anything that is like bothering me, like, there could definitely be like some little dings or something where I kind of like bumped it while it was drying. Definitely those, or maybe just like some fingerprints that I feel like are a little bit too deep and too visible. I'll just kind of like, so when the piece is bone dry, I'll go back, review them, and just take some water and smooth it out in the same way that we're doing right now. And that works too, to an extent. Obviously, if it's like really deep, it's harder to do those areas when it's bone dry. So like, you don't really want to, you want to get like the majority off, like when it's like around this stage. So let me just do the sides. I think the sides look pretty good. I don't know if I might have done like the sides a little bit yesterday. All of these pieces like look the same, so I'm having a hard time remembering what has happened. I don't know. I'll just do it anyway. It's also good to just do it anyway because even if I did do the sides yesterday, I want the whole piece to be at the same moisture level, so that it will dry much more evenly. we've gone all the way around. So let's do, let me see. I think I can smooth the bottom out a little bit. But the bottom is pretty thin though. So I just kind of want to, it's kind of bumping up a little bit. I think you can see that. So just like going over a tiny bit to push it back down. There's not too much here to trim off. So I'm just gonna basically keep it here where it is. And then let's just like fix up this, this part of the foot. Where is my tool for that? Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay. So I don't really want this to be like perfect because that would drive me crazy. I'm just gonna try to like do it by eye and try to make it like pretty even. I think like, I don't know. It's really just like up to you, like how you want your pieces to be like finished. Some people love like a like super polished look, something that looks like it was like they just bought it from the store, like it's so polished. Some people love that kind of stuff, but other people really like stuff where it is very obvious that it was handmade, because of the imperfections. It really just depends on you and like what you like for this kind of like I don't know, like finishing touches, I guess. I mean, it's probably like throughout the whole piece, like but I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I guess I'm just like referring to like how much I'm gonna finish this foot area. I can be like, I don't know, I can be like really overwhelmed with kind of like perfectionist tendencies. So I really I just like try to stay away from it. I'm trying to stay away from that, but I want like, I don't know, I'm kind of like, I want some kind of like middle ground area where it looks like pretty nice. The finish looks pretty nice, but you can tell it's not perfect. That's kind of like what I'm aiming for. Because I want it to look nice to a certain extent, but maybe not like too overboard, because I'll spend like way too much time on it. And I'll be like unhappy with how much time I spent on it. I don't know. I kind of like a little bit of it to not be so perfect. I think that's kind of like it plays into like how I look at it as an artist, but also kind of plays into like you as like as a, I don't know, viewer or buyer or whatever. Like what you look for in pieces. Some people, you know, some people really want something that is very polished and looks like perfect. And then other people don't. Other people don't like that. Other people like the quirks. So it kind of like, it plays in like on both sides. If that makes sense. And I do the kind of things that I like. So I kind of like pieces that are like this, where it's like, pretty nice, but maybe it's not perfect. Okay, let me see. I think they're just like, maybe if it's supposed to want to touch up. It's a little weird because the this curve here isn't, it's not perfect. So I kind of like, it's a little bit different all the way around. So I'm just kind of like trying to make this make sense, like where, like how much of this foot is there. Okay, all right. And let's just take this bigger one to do some of these kind of like side areas. Okay. I think that was pretty good. Let me just like, there are a couple like bumps here of like clay that kind of like fell there while I was trimming. So I'm just kind of trying to get those off of there. Okay, actually let me get this too. All right. Okay. So this is pretty good. I'm going to let this sit here for a little bit, so that foot area can dry a little bit, and then I'm going to put my my logo stamp into it. It's just like the clay is too wet right there to do that right now. Let's trim these. I hope these can be trimmed. Okay. That one's a little bit wetter. Let's trim off like a bit of this excess, and then we can set it aside and let it dry. I think while we work on the other one's like not as moist. Because if you can trim off like some of this like excess, then it'll dry a little bit faster. Not really in like probably like the short amount of time that we're gonna be doing this here. We're probably not even gonna get to this one though, so you know. But when you can, it is pretty nice to like cut that excess off. Cause like I think like about like when the clay is like more wet, it's just easier to cut larger bits off. Sometimes you don't want that much to come off and you like grab too much. That's why usually you wait a little bit longer to do a little bit more of that like detailed work that is easier to control. Okay, so that is better, so we'll just go put that over there. Let's check out this guy. Let's do the same thing because the walls are much drier than this area. Okay, so I'm just gonna adjust the angle a little bit now that we got like the majority of the trimmings off. All right, I'm gonna check out the base. Okay, the base isn't too bad. Let's just like I need to like make the bases a little bit thicker when I throw it on the wheel because like this is like such a mess. I don't know which one. Maybe it's the other one. I don't know. I felt like the base seemed a little bit too thin. We'll just kind of like smooth them out and then hope for the best. If you watched one of the older videos, the dog bowls, those were like very early on. I didn't do them like during the stream, but we did some adjustments in the stream because I threw the bases too thin and It really just needed like a little bit more added. So I like scored and added a clay, a like a rolled out bit of clay to the bottom, and then the sides here, where they were attached on one of them, which I mentioned, that needs a bisque fix, it cracked. The other one was actually fine, so that's good, I guess. So you can kind of do that if you need to. See how that goes. But yeah, yeah. some stuff, it's just like, kind of like just learning, remembering to do stuff. I really haven't done much throwing in a few years. I got my wheel like a couple months ago, but I actually have been doing a lot more hand building. I don't know why. I guess mostly from the stream. I don't really feel like getting on the wheel for the stream. I just like don't feel like 100% confident in doing it, and then like showing you guys like the wrong way to do it or something. I don't know. That's kind of what's happening with the slab building and the coil building at the moment, but I don't know. I just it's been a couple years since I was working on the wheel, and I'm just like, I basically like kind of just forgot like almost everything. So I'm just kind of like relearning how to use it. It definitely has not been like riding a bike. So yeah. But obviously if you can you know, fix what you're doing and then like do it right, you're gonna spend like so much more time, like you're gonna save so much more time if you can, you know, just do it the right way and not like try not to have to do these other things where you're like fixing it, like fixing your mistakes. Obviously things just happen and that's what you have to do, but you know. Okay. Well, this is looking pretty good. For a lot of my feet, I like to do a rim kind of like this, but that's not really necessary. You don't want to keep it just flat, because when it's fired, it might belly out, and then there'll be a bump here. And you don't really want that, because then your whatever, your bowl or your cup or whatever is gonna wobble. So I'm not sure how much. We have to do a little bit of trimming inside. But this might be one where I'm just gonna kind of like droop down and do kind of like not a super obvious foot maybe. Just kind of see where this goes. But that's something you can do to kind of like correct for any possible drooping that's gonna happen. If you don't cut away enough, it could just like droop and still belly out. So you kind of, I don't know. just gotta do what you can, I guess. This is like, the bottom is very, it's very moist. Well, the sides are kind of like perfect for trimming right now. That's okay. We're just gonna do a tiny bit on the bottom of this. Just kind of like smooth it out. You can trim on the wheel if you want. For something that is symmetrical, like these bowls. I don't know. So, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't feel like using the wheel. Maybe if I wasn't streaming, I would use it. I think I'm going to trim the outside. Like, it's almost a centimeter thick. The walls are, so there is a little bit to trim off. Just like everywhere. It's a little annoying to have to do certain things on the wheel because like for trimming, you don't want to trim like too much off, obviously. But then like if you're not sure like where it is, like you have to remove it, look at it, and then like put it back. So like unless you have something like a Griffin grip or whatever, I feel like there are probably other brands out there, but that's like the one that I know off the top of my head, that it just kind of like holds it for you on the wheel, which is pretty quick. But if you don't have one of those, what you have to do is like you have to grab some water and like put it around here, and then you put it on your wheel, and then you wiggle it around, and then you have to center it and then kind of like push it to be centered, but make sure it's not like moving too much. And then you can like trim and stuff, but then when you look at it, you have to do all of that over again, which is like kind of annoying. So I don't know, it just kind of like depends on you. If there's just like a heck ton to trim off, sometimes like I think it's probably worth it. And I think that's kind of why people say they won't trim both the inside and outside. So like you can do the same thing. So you have to cut out your foot, and then you would apply the water at the rim, and then you would like wiggle it around until it's centered, and then you just like trim from the inside. I think that's what people say. I think some people say they don't trim the inside and they only do the outside. But if you're trimming the inside, you can see how thick the walls are. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why some people say they won't trim the inside. Sometimes, I don't know. For me, it depends, I think. Like my pinch pots, I want to keep that pinch texture on the outside of the pot, so I only will trim the inside for the majority of it. I might fix up the foot or something, but for the most part I'll only do like the inside. I guess it kind of depends, whatever you want to do. In reality, it doesn't matter like what you choose, if you want to do the inside or the outside, whatever you want to do. Obviously there's some things like pictures or something where you can't get your tools on the inside to trim it, so you have to do from the outside, you know. But otherwise, it's just kind of like up to you what you want to do. And then anything that's like, anything that is asymmetrical, obviously you kind of can't put it on the wheel. Which is why a banding wheel like this is a banding wheel. They're just very useful. If you are just starting out, I wouldn't say that it's necessary, but they are very nice to have for things like this, like trimming things. If you watch the other videos, you'll see that I do coil building on here. So have the base, and then you're just kind of like wrapping the coils up. Or it could be nice for like applying, I don't know, if you want to use it for like brushing on glaze, you could do that. I don't think I really do that. I don't think I really use it for that. But I guess if you wanted to. Definitely for trimming though. It can be really nice. Or just like looking at, like, sometimes when you're trimming you kind of have to like look at it, spin it around, see if sides are even, all that. Obviously you can just do that like with your hands. Like, you don't need a banding wheel, but they definitely are really nice. I don't know how big this one is. Over here. This one is about 9 inches. You can also find things like this. I actually have, I think, seen some of these on Amazon. Amazon does not always have pottery tools. But some of the more basic tools are on there. I'm not sure if there is a huge difference between this and like one that you would use for cake decorating. I also have like a turntable that I got from IKEA for like, it's like pretty big. It's like, actually maybe it's like this big or so. It's like for having on the dinner table, and then like you can just spin it and people can reach different dishes that you put on it. I don't know if there's much of a difference. But I don't know. If you feel like those are cheaper, maybe it's worth trying out. I would definitely like kind of like check it out, like how the weight distribution is first, if you are looking at it in person. But potentially you could find other things. There were a lot of like, there's a lot of crossover between pottery tools and baking. Like, I use a lot of like spatulas for moving my clay around and stuff, like my reclaim. Or like, I don't know. You could like, I don't know, I guess you could use it for like stirring water into your glaze, like if you have powdered glaze in a bag or whatever. But there's like a lot of overlap between baking and pottery, especially in sculpting tools and quite a few things. So it's definitely worth checking out if you are looking into getting tools, because it's kind of hard to find pottery tools at like arts and crafts stores. They really don't have very much. You'll definitely see stuff for like polymer clay, which can be applicable for like the sculpting aspect, but yeah, definitely check out like baking aisles and stuff, because there are quite a few like tools and stuff, at least for if you like to do like sculpting and that. yeah. All right, so we are we're at time, so I have to go back to work now. Holy cow, we trimmed off way too much there. Shoot. Wow. Okay. I'll have to fix that. Let's see if I can fix that or something. It's very thin right there. Holy cow. Okay. All right. So, I don't know if I'm going to, I should probably try to work on some of this, tonight. And then, I don't know, we're probably going to trim some tomorrow. I don't know. I guess we'll see if we have anything to trim tomorrow, or if we'll just start a new project. Here we go. Here's my little logo there. I'm gonna fix up this rim a little bit. Yeah. I have another project that I would like to spend a lot of time on though. So I don't know how much I'll actually get to with doing this. Maybe I'll try to do like an hour of working on this tonight. But yeah. All right, so if you are watching on Twitch, be sure to follow along so that you know when I come back online for another stream. And then all of the videos will be uploaded to YouTube at Callie & Co. And that is where you can find all of the other videos for Twitch. We have a whole stream archive there of so many things. We didn't do too much here. We're just kind of trimming some stuff, but there's like a lot of other kinds of like building up pieces, trimming, glazing, underglazing. There's just like quite a variety there for you to check out. And then there are a few other videos on my channel that are so we have like a couple tutorials for ceramics, and then there's also stuff that's kind of like more general art type topics, and like small handmade business kind of things there too. And that is again at Callie & Co. So I will catch you guys in our live stream tomorrow. All right. Thank you so much for joining and checking out the video. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you later. All right. Bye.